So, do you want to know what bothers me? No? Well, let me tell you anyways. What bothers me is when I watch someone on a gaming channel for like 2 or 3 years, and all that you ever know is their voice. And so eventually your brain starts to make up a picture inside of your head of what that person might look like based off of their voice, and then that kind of becomes the character you know. And then like 3 years in, they'll do a face reveal and it doesn't line up at all with what you thought. That's what bothers me. So we're just gonna do a little face reveal right now. Hi. Okay, enough of that. Hold on. Yesterday, I spent all day working my tail off at this computer, just marketing and networking, and it paid off. We landed our first contract. The contract reads: Soup Productions LLC agrees to transport materials from Pallet Shop North and Pallet Shop East to a construction site, supplying equipment to do so, supplying labor of 1 man for all construction purposes until project is complete. In return, Silverrun Forrest will pay $50,000 to Soup Productions LLC. Now, what does that mean? Well, there's a roller coaster being built that way. Can we see it from the window? That's not good. Can't see it anyways. Anyways, there's a roller coaster being built, and there's currently about 20 people working on it, and they needed a little extra help. Mostly transporting pallets of building materials to the job site, and then also just labor, putting stuff together. So that's what we're gonna do. But there's a couple issues with that actually. One, we don't have any equipment. In the contract it states we will supply and operate equipment to bring pallets to the construction area. And 2, we're gonna need to drive a semi-truck to transport those pallets, and I don't have a CDL, and I don't have time to get a CDL in time to do this contract. But we really need this contract to get this business off the ground. And so I looked up the penalties for getting caught driving a truck without a CDL, and 6 months in jail, a $1,000 fine, and you are not allowed to get inside of a semi-truck for at least 120 days, which we kind of need that for our business. So that would be really bad if we get caught. That would be really bad. I learned how to walk through the store correctly now. So objective number 1 is going to be renting equipment. Let's go get started with that. Okay, we made it to the local shop, Eddie's Auto Works, so let's go see if we can talk to Mr. Eddie.
Hello, my name is Samuel. I've recently taken over this shop from Eddie. Anyways, how may I help you?
Okay, so after about an hour of negotiations with Samuel, we have a lease agreement all put together. So what we've got is this Volvo semi-truck over here. It looks pretty nice. It's pretty new. The flatbed trailer, which we'll be using to haul the pallets. And then we've also got this little miniature front loader over here rented to help move the pallets. And so basically the whole agreement we have written up is this will be, so combined, the truck and the front loader and the trailer will be $5,000 per month. Hopefully, the roller coaster build's over there. Hopefully it doesn't take more than a month or 2. That's kind of where we're taking a bit of a risk. And then we've got 100 hours on this to use and 1,000 miles on the truck to use. And if we surpass that, then the cost will increase. So I think that's a pretty fair deal. First impressions of Samuel, I was like, man, this guy looks like Dave Ramsey knockoff. I was bracing myself for a lecture that I didn't ask for. But he wasn't a bad guy. He was pretty nice, actually. He doesn't like being called Sam. He likes being called Samuel. That's a little bit unideal in my preference, but we'll respect it. So let's get to work on our first contract. Well, I'd say that's not bad for our first load. Not bad at all. Well, boys, it looks like I'm going to jail. Do you see that in the rearview mirror right there? Yup, that's a DOT cop. He just pulled us over. And here they're oh goodness, it's a woman. They're the ones that show no mercy. I'm gonna go to jail. I'm too pretty to go to jail. Do you know what happens to pretty boys in jail?
Hello, sir. Is this your truck?
No. This is a rental from Eddie's, Eddie's shop down there.
Are you aware that your left rear trailer lights are not working?
No, I wasn't aware of that.
Well, since this is a rental, please just take it back to them and fix it before your next load. Have a nice day, sir.
Okay, thank you. Oh, she didn't even ask for our CDL. Holy cow. That's as close as it gets. We gotta get a CDL. Holy cow. Oh, brother. I cannot believe how lucky we just got. Luck is not a good business strategy. This is the South Pallet Shop. This is where we'll also be transporting some pallets, but it's just up the road from the roller coaster. And this forklift, the construction site manager, whatever you want to call that guy, he's renting it, so we don't got to worry about paying for this, but we will be operating it quite a bit. So, yeah, we've got a long project ahead of us, and so I think I'll just catch back in with you guys as soon as it's all done. Hopefully, it takes maybe a month at most, maybe 2 months at most. If it takes a year, well then, yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, man, we are fast. We got this built in under a month. That's crazy. That's crazy. And tomorrow's opening day, so I was just here, kind of clearing some stuff out of the way, getting ready to return the equipment. We've already handled all the billing and everything, so we now have $50,000 in our bank account. That's a great start. I mean, it took a month of work, but that's a really good start. And I've already paid Eddie's shop over there for our rent. I still need to fuel up the equipment. We kept the truck we kept the front loader under 100 hours, so we don't have to pay any extra for that. We did go slightly over on the truck because we did a lot of trucking back and forth up to there. It's quite a long drive. But anyways, tomorrow is opening day for this roller coaster, and so we get to give it a little test run. Well, I've already given it a few test runs, but for free we get to check this out, and look how cool this is. I really love the teal stripe going through it. It kind of is a little bit nerve-wracking knowing that you built a majority of this, and your craftsmanship is now literally in your hands. I've only rolled in this once and it was kind of scary. Here we go. Wait. Let's discuss this. Yep, that's right. That's kind of how I feel right now. Here we go. Nice. That's a little fast. Okay, here we go. Oh, right through the barn. Up to the top. That's my favorite part. We get a nice view of the town. And then it speeds up some more. Fast loop right here. That part almost hurts. It's so fast. Okay, yeah. And there we go. Now, in yesterday's episode, after editing it back, I realized I made quite a few harsh judgments towards Giants. Giants is the company that makes this video game, in case you didn't know. And I just want to touch on that a little bit. I'm sorry. No, I'm kidding. I'm not sorry. In 22, you could look around while riding on this roller coaster, and it was really fun. You could look backwards, you could look sideways, you could look up, you could look down. Now you can't do anything because they were in their meeting and they're like, hey, let's make basically an update to FS25, except for instead of making things better like most people do, let's make things worse. Let's take away features. Let's tell everyone about our neat new engine that we built for the game we're going to brag it up. Just brag it up every interview we get. And then what we're going to deliver to our people is something that doesn't work. It doesn't work. And let's charge them $60 for this update because, they love this game. They'll buy it. And yes, I did. And another thing while we're on it, I've been driving on these roads on Silverrun and on Riverbend Springs. Like, see the UPS truck over there? That's good. That's an American UPS truck. Maybe European UPS trucks, they'd probably look different. But the European dump trucks that drive back and forth. When YouTubers had early access to the map and were showing it off, there were American-styled dump trucks driving around the American maps. Where are those? Where'd they go? I used a modded map, and there was an American dump truck on it. The same one that they were showing in the videos. Where is it? Where is it? I don't know where it's at. Not on these maps. No, that was too much for them. They had to take the shortcut. They just had to take the shortcut. Look, I've lived in America for 22 years. Never have I ever seen one of those ugly European dump trucks on our roads of freedom. Keep them off. Keep them off. Okay, now I got that vent out of my system. We got to bring this equipment back. I actually used to love European stuff. I used to prefer it when I started playing Farm Simulator over to the American stuff. But then, for some reason, I kind of just switched that. Now I like the American stuff. And, yeah, I think that's a good part to end the video. We are now $50,000 richer. The contract went a lot smoother than I thought, so we'll see you in the next one. Oh, and real quick, before we end the video, now that I've kind of proved how much of a baby I am, this game did crash 5 times during the making of this episode. It's very difficult to do this when the game keeps crashing and you lose all your progress, and it also corrupts the recording chip that I'm using to do this. So that's been fun.